circles. Let me bring the radar up. We'll scan a little bit higher. And this helps us take a look at storm structure. Do we have the tilt? And we do have a little bit of tilt, tilting back here on that storm touch back to the west. And then we start to run into that divergence signal, especially on that southeastern storm. And a little bit higher up as you move in that northern storm. That is the stronger of the two storms. That has higher cloud tops with this. But yeah, certainly some rotation to watch. And I'd say in the lowest 20,000 feet, we're seeing that spin up too. 2 tornado warnings until 10:15 for southeastern Davis County, 10:30 for the northern, I'd say generally half of Davis County, and I'll be here to monitor the situation with you until they are either expired or canceled. But as of right now, both of these are still showing a pretty strong signal, especially here as we look west of Bloomfield. Continue to seek shelter here. If you're in Drakesville, do the same. This threat is about 5 miles directly to the west of Bloomfield at this point. It's moving a slight northerly component to it, but generally due east. That's what we've been looking at with this activity. So we apologize for covering up your late primetime programming for you, but this is a serious risk, and we are in the business of keeping the public safe, and that's what we're doing with both of these. If you're in Milton as you move off into Van Buren County or any other parts of rural Davis County, Pulaski, I think you're fine, but you need to be seeking shelter for a radar-indicated tornado, and it looks like a slight intensification in the strength of that wind, bright and tight, I often say is what we're looking at here as you move west of Bloomfield. 77 miles per hour gate to gate, that's what we're looking at. And I'm just going to bring this back here a little bit. And I think we're seeing this take a good line maybe to get us to the north of Bloomfield, which we would love to see because we do not need any tornadoes hitting highly populated areas. That said, we're starting to get into some areas close to town, and I don't want you to get complacent. We also have a hail signal that's coming in pretty strong with this one. So this is one storm that is certainly rip-roaring, some indication that we could see some hail with this one closer to the Drakesville area that's closer to 2 inches in diameter. I think we'll see a better look at the next scan, but inch and a half in diameter with this storm is possible. On a previous scan, I think on the next piece of data we'll see that one come up as well. And this is not too far off of each of the areas of circulation. So you saw that other sampling of 1.1 inches, so just a bit above severe criteria. But on my radar picture here, just off screen on my laptop, it's given us indication of over 2 inches in diameter, getting closer to actually the tennis ball sized hail kind of variant. So 2 areas of rotation in southeastern Davis County. Let me go over to the velocity signal here. Southeast of Milton. Try to keep it on the Des Moines radar so we can get a good look on this. But the brightest areas are now kind of wider away. So this is strong rotation, but on a bit more of a broad scale. And as we take a look at the velocity signal, it's in fact not sampling it for us. I think we might have a period of bad data in there, but it's definitely brighter on the broader scale. Spinning fast, but wider, and that's better than being tighter, that is for sure. 2 areas, could try to cycle up a different area of rotation to watch, but 2 areas of shearing, strong inbounds right here west of Bloomfield. I think traditionally the spot we've been watching is further back to the west and north and west with time. Yeah, that's been the area. That northern area we've been watching has been a bit more prominent of a figure here as we've taken a look at things. 2 areas to track, kind of the surprise for us tonight, and I will say this southeastern tornado warning has been extended into Van Buren County, though that is outside of the local 5 area. We'll continue to track it as it does continue to move through Davis County. But 2 areas to watch, winding out that view, and we'll just go ahead and loop things over the last 2 hours, and this one just clipping the southeastern portion of the local 5 area. You see, most of the activity is actually deviating almost straight north and east, but watch these 2 storms. They have more of an easterly component to it. And that's a signal that it has a good inflow to it, a strong fuel source, if you will, that moist, that warmer air. There is some slightly better energy associated to the south and east of our area. It'll take a second for this data to load in, but you can see those colors are definitely brighter, into the brighter yellows as it loads in down over southeastern Iowa. So if something were to form, that's where it'd be, though this was not expected here for today. I'll come out and say that. This was definitely a surprise. Wasn't thinking any sort of severe weather on the docket here for tonight, but it certainly has come to fruition. There's no information coming in via reports from the National Weather Service or law enforcement confirming anything on the ground, but we still have that strong rotation on radar. Both of these storms look very healthy at this point. They're into their mature stage, and they are spinning. They are low top supercells, but they are getting the job done here for tonight. Pulling up the rotation shear detection here. We'll get this in. You can see just to the west of Bloomfield is definitely the area of strongest rotation. It's kind of difficult to see, but right there, there's also some hints of blue showing up, and that would be another area that we're watching of rotation. Looks like we're getting some new data in. These clouds are fairly low topped. I believe only up to about 45,000 feet here for tonight, perhaps just a touch more, actually saying 52. So they're getting up there at this point. Turning into mature supercell, kind of compact supercells, but they are there. Some hail coming in as well, just north and west of Bloomfield. But the rotation is what we're tracking. Let's go back to it. And once we hit 10 o'clock, if we still have tornado warnings, we're going to keep it right here with weather coverage, though we will begin our Local 5 news at 10 o'clock officially. But we'll keep it here with weather coverage. Both of these areas of rotation, just south and west of Milton, and to the north and west of Bloomfield. Though I will say this northern area of rotation has broadened out. You're looking at those brighter greens. This is a good trend. Those brighter greens and brighter reds are more spaced out. Have to keep in mind that we're looking at a fairly high level in the thunderstorm, however. If you're in Bloomfield or just north of town, Drakesville, Belknap, continue to seek shelter. This one riding just north of Iowa Highway 2, US Highway 63, just by about a mile and a half or so. But that area of interest that we're going to be watching, I'll go ahead and pop it out right here on that arrow. With the newest data, pardon me as I grab the right tool, just to the northwestern edge of Bloomfield. So continue to seek shelter, please. I think we're recycling a little bit. This is not the original area of circulation. Watch this area, and as I extrapolate it out through time, you're going to see that area weakens, and we're starting to form a new area of circulation just to the north and west of Bloomfield. So if we did have a tornado from the original area circulation, we're starting to watch a new area, and this one is not rain wrapped. It'd be right in this general vicinity, while the old circulation is now tied up into the heart of the thunderstorm. There is some hail signal to this, and I actually say higher than the 1-inch diameter hail that is being hinted at. And our product here in the Local 5 Doppler radar saying about golf ball size, 1 inch and 1 3/4 inches in diameter, and another little hail core down there into the southeastern portion of Davis County. Anyone south and east of Milton, continue to seek shelter if you're right along the Davis and Van Buren County line. Since we have this new area of circulation, I'm going to go ahead and put a new track on it. This does include Bloomfield, and you need to be in your shelter right now with this area of rotation. So it says 9:57, that's just a minute away. Chequist at 9:21, and White Elm as we move closer to 10:27. This tornado warning over northern Davis County does continue until we go towards 10:30, and we'll continue to track this here as long as that warning is in effect. If it gets canceled or expired early, we'll go ahead and let that one go. A strong area of rotation there, just right over the Milton area right now. So as this one exits Davis County, moves into Van Buren County, we're definitely watching this area very, very closely, as that's definitely the brightest and tightest as we're looking at. We're struggling to get the sampling of the data down at these levels. I think the last couple of scans have had troubles looking that far away. Looking at 60 miles of gate-to-gate shear, so right across from each other, those individual pixels, they're rotating around at 60 miles per hour. So, yeah, confirming what we've been saying, the National Weather Service is confirming, yeah, the rotation here on the original one on the northern storm has broadened out, but it could be tightening back up just off to the northwestern edge of Bloomfield. So if you hear my voice in Bloomfield, go ahead and leave the TV on and get to your safe place, low level, into your room, basement preferred. Get into a room without windows. A bathroom is a great place to be, a closet if you have that ability to get in there. Likely hearing the sirens go off in many communities in Davis County at the moment. So as we come up to 10 o'clock, we're going to go ahead and start Local 5 News at 10 o'clock, but keep it here with weather coverage as we go through the first half hour of 10 o'clock and track the storm as it moves through northern Davis County. There is other activity, but as I've kind of stated, it's not near as strong. It's moving more north and east. These two storms in southeast Davis County and northern Davis County are moving a little bit more east than north. And until they start to move northeast once again, they're going to have that chance to spit out a tornado. We do have a decent amount of low-level shear in the atmosphere here for today, and we are certainly maximizing it to the fullest down there. Broad rotation on both of these storms now as it moves through, but it is strong broad rotation. So we'll go ahead and focus on the storm over Bloomfield now that that circulation is out of Davis County in the southeastern part. We're seeing the rotation here over about 3 miles. So again, that's pretty broad. You may be looking at a wall cloud down into that general vicinity. And just because I saw it just off screen here, I want to mention in Appanoose County, there is another little tightening that is showing up. That would be near the Plano area, right along Iowa Highway 142 down there. Zoom in just to the north of Plano, west of Garfield. So we'd be watching an area right along about 480th Street there, close to Iowa Highway 142 as it updates. Getting down here 480th, just to the east, west of 140th. So that's broad. It's not too strong, but it is of the tighter variety. Stronger but broader here as this one deviates north of Bloomfield. So I do think and the threat in Bloomfield is starting to wind down. If you are north of town, anywhere along US Highway 63, that threat is definitely still there. Now I'm going to sample. Don't focus on the gate-to-gate of this activity now. Take a focus on the velocity. 22 miles per hour, contrasted, if it samples here, by 29 in absolute status. That's looking at a rotation of about 50 miles per hour. So it has weakened a bit too. And over the course of about 2 miles, 3 miles, that's what we're looking at. So there's likely those clouds overhead spinning rapidly. The good news is it's not quite as strong as it has been with time. Back when it was closer to Moulton, that's when it looked about the strongest. Maybe a little bit into western Davis County, as this one was west of West Grove. That's when that cell looked the strongest at this point. And we'll show you that rotation here. and show you the tracks, the history of it over the last 30 minutes. It was strong. And that southeastern part of Davis County too, that's been strong as well. But as this one got closer to Bloomfield, it has certainly broadened out. And now it's starting to show some signs that it is weakening. And that's a good trend. I hope we can keep that trend going here as we continue on through 10 o'clock. We are now officially in Local 5 News at 10 o'clock. Do we want to roll the show open just to make sure we get in? Let's roll the show open briefly. All right, we're back with storm coverage here, tracking 2 tornado warnings in Davis County. The southeasternmost warning until 10:15, the threat is now out of the area. We're focused in here just north of Bloomfield. The area we're tracking is within that red shaded polygon, mainly east of Highway 63. Along and east of Highway 63 in northeastern Davis County, this tornado warning will last until 10:30. And we'll keep it with you here for the duration and talk a little bit about weather with you tonight. I've been mentioning that this has been a bit of a surprise on us tonight. I'm seeing a good trend overall with things north of Bloomfield. So this is definitely broader. It has weakened, and that's the trend I want to continue to see here. We've lost the strength and the tightness that we definitely had when we were back here west of Bloomfield. That's a good trend, and hopefully this warning will be canceled so we can get in on our regular broadcast here for tonight. There are a couple of areas of circulation I'll be tracking furthermore, but they're very weak right now over western Appanoose County. And then you get into southeastern Wayne County. That'd be closer to the Seymour area of some weak areas of rotation. So southeastern Iowa has the shear to try to get things done for tonight. The best energy is down over southeastern Iowa, and we want to see a clear and unobstructed area south of each storm for them to take off. Now, what I believe is happening here near Bloomfield is these 2 southern storms are trying to cut off the updraft that's really fueling this storm over Bloomfield right now. And I'll go ahead and say Bloomfield, you can come out of your safe places. That area of rotation now is to your north and east at this point. I'll pull out the scope. It's pretty broad, but it's pulling in near Highway 63 at this point. We'll keep it here with you, discussing weather, specifically surrounding the storms out here until the warning is canceled or expired, and then we'll get it over to our newscast if that does change. I think we're trending that direction. But I want to wait for the official cancellation if there is going to be one from the National Weather Service, or they give us the okay that that threat is diminished. We've heard sirens more than likely there coming through. Yeah, this rotation continues to weaken out, and that's and broaden out. That's a trend I like to see. Now about 4 miles wide, and as we sample the wind speeds here, 22 miles per hour opposed by 18 miles per hour. So going the right way, we're seeing the speed weaken, and we're seeing the couplet broaden out. So I'm rocking things back and forth here over the last 15-ish minutes or so. And you see this couplet is really weakened. So I think we're trending the right direction out of this, and that's awesome. Now that new storm that's formed in between, it's trying to show some signs of rotation. That's credence to the low-level shear that we have, just kind of like those couple of cells there back towards Appanoose and Wayne County. So right on the southern and southeastern side of the Local 5 area is where we need to watch. Okay, for those in the booth, go ahead and prepare for our show at 10 o'clock here, and you just give me the go-ahead when we're ready to go with that, and we will go into Local 5 at 10 o'clock. This tornado warning for Davis County until 10:30 has been canceled early, and that's the trend we've been going on, so we like to see that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and keep it here on weather coverage for the time being, just until we get set in position for our 10 o'clock show here for tonight. But there's no longer a tornado threat in northern Davis County. This tornado warning has been canceled early, so that's good news. It looks like these thunderstorms, it's going to steer clear away from the Iowa State Fair. That's good news. Southeastern Iowa, there are some downpours, of course. We're going to continue to track these storms for you very closely, of course. We'll keep a close eye on it. There's really not even that much lightning with the storms that we have in place here for tonight, but they are out there in southeastern Iowa, and they're going to continue to move to the north and east. So this will not impact the Des Moines metro at all. And just because we're still here tracking it, I'll go back to the velocity signal, and yeah, we're still kind of seeing the rotation weaken out. That's good. We're going to send it over to Stephanie Engelson and get started on our 10 o'clock news here. Thanks for joining us on the broadcast as we go into 10 o'clock.
All right, Chris, thank you so much for that update. We appreciate you following those storms, and thank you at home while we take a minute to reset here. Well, the Urbandale Community School District is considering removing gender identity as a protected class. The school board held the first reading of the policy change at its meeting last month, but nothing was approved. Tonight, the board met again. Local 5's Larissa Leone joins us with details on the discussion that was had this evening and the conclusion the board came to. Larissa.
Well, Stephanie, the Urbandale School Board attorney at tonight's meeting claims the district's current policy on gender identity as a protected class is in compliance with state laws. There is nothing that currently mandates school districts' policies must remove gender identity as a protected class under Iowa state law. However, some board members are concerned about legal issues that could arise down the road due to federal executive orders, noting the proposed changes covers equality of all students and better aligns with federal